There are some things we do and you may not understand, but by faith, you keep doing the things that you know to do unless you find out that they are wrong by definition. Okay? Yes, there are sometimes people mess up. Yes, there are sometimes people say things, but unless you know for sure that they are wrong by definition, keep going until you find out why we do what we do. Search and find out. I encourage you. Ask questions. Seek to learn. Seek to understand. But by faith is how you're going to be saved. But without faith, you can have all the standards you want. You can have all the traditions you want. But you become a whited sepulcher. Mm-hmm. If I could say it like this, you become an empty grave because the spirit in you doesn't really have anything to it. So it's just a body walking around, just waiting to waste away and die. Those people there are some people, and I don't want to be careful. There are some people who think that money is everything and possessions are everything. And they've got going places and seeing this and seeing that, and I'm not against it. Yeah, we all would like to have a little bit more money these days. We sure could use it. We all would like to go see things and do things and drive the nicest cars. That'd be great. That'd be awesome. But money isn't everything. It's a small thing. And honestly, if you don't have something on the inside and you don't have some substance in you, then money's going to ruin you. Mm-hmm. Right? We were at the museum this last week, and I was telling Pastor Kearney and Sister Kearney about this. There was these two kings that fought a war, and the one king lost and the other king won. And so the vassal king got this scheme together, and he got all this nice wood and sent it to the king that had won, the victorious king, and after being, under his foot for years. And he did it so he could ruin him, but he sent him all this wood, and he was like, here's this wood, you can build you a new palace. That sounds generous, doesn't it? That sounds great. But the problem was the victorious king took all that wood and built him a new palace. But just because he had the wood, he didn't factor in the time it took to make the palace. He had labor cost. You got all the other things that go in a palace, all the accoutrements, all the things to make it nice and grand. And he bankrupted the kingdom from a gift. If you don't understand how to use money, money will use you. But if I keep my eyes in the right place, a lot of people get tied up behind money in the church. If I keep my eyes in the right place and I follow God, the money will come and it's inevitably going to leave. You hold on to it all you want to. One of you is going to leave at some point. You're going to leave this earth, or the money's going to leave you and go elsewhere. And generally it's going to leave and go elsewhere anyway, because you're going to pay for the house, or you're going to pay for lights, or you got to eat to stay alive. Because if you don't, then you'll leave and the money will be here for somebody else. But if I have faith in God and I keep my eyes in the right place, Peter did not fall. He was walking through the chaos on top of nature that scares people even today. Who can control the sea? We still don't know. We still don't know what's all in the depths of the oceans. Still don't know. We got some ideas because we can go deeper now, but we still haven't seen all of it. And Peter, through faith, walked on it while the sea was acting up. I wonder if he got wet. I wonder if he was walking on the sea and the waves come washed over him. Or maybe they just left him alone. I don't know. Was it like the Red Sea that God parted? I don't know. I don't know if some salt got in his eyes a little bit, or maybe he got a taste of it because one of the waves just crashed down on him, but he was still walking. But it wasn't until his eyes turned and looked. I don't know if maybe it was. Maybe that's the problem. He got hit by one of the waves and he was like, man, that was heavy. And he looked up and went, man, whoo, look at where I am. I sure am far away from that boat if I get hit by another one of them waves. And he took his eyes off of Jesus. And that is when he got himself into trouble. How many times, listen, I'm talking to myself. How many times have we taken our eyes off Jesus? I have to talk to myself. It is tough sometimes to look at a situation and go, I think I can, to look at a situation and know and think that you can do better, but say, I think that God has a plan. And I have to trust the plan. The elders were under the altar in Revelation saying, how long? God, we're trusting you, but how long? We just want to know till you do. We know you will do what you said you will do. We know what you said will come to pass, but how long is it going to take? Right? Because we get weary sometimes. We get tired. We want to know. Because, boy, I'm going to tell you, the trials of life can get hot. And they don't just get hot for us. They get hot for people in the world, too. They do. Anxiety, it has many names, and you have to actually recognize it, and you have to point it out and tell people. But anxiety drives people to do things that they wouldn't do normally. And it drives people to get on each other's nerves. Normally, when people are getting on your nerves and you can't understand why they're not listening to you or why they just don't seem to be able to understand what you're trying to tell them, it's because their anxiety is driving their blood pressure up. Because they can't see. They're too busy looking at the waves. And you're looking at the shoreline going, man, I've been walking all the way to the boat from here. I don't have to. Why are we bothered? Right? But we have to keep our eyes and our faith in Jesus Christ. And we're getting ready. By faith, Noah, being warned of God of things not seen as yet, moved with fear, prepared an ark to the saving of his house, because he believed when God said it's going to rain, Noah. And he started preparing long before the rains came. Now, let me ask you this. Did God tell him it was going to be 120 years before the rain came? Or did God just say, start building an ark and wait till the ark was finished and then drop the rain? Bible doesn't say, does it? Because sometimes that will be the thing, is God sometimes will put you on a clock and say, you got time that you got to meet. There's a task you need to do, and you've got a time you got to do it in, and you got to get on the ball and get on the stick. But whenever God says to do something, you need to get on the ball, because he may be waiting on you to finish what you're supposed to do so that he can go ahead and do what he wants to do. And he's waiting on you.
That's true.
But you've got to have the faith to move when God says move. God told Noah to start building an ark. That is a lot of work. If you have ever built a boat, that is a lot of work. Just to build one of these small boats. I can only imagine trying to build a boat big enough to handle all the animals in the world. And a family. That is a lot of work. And it took 120 years to build this thing. And God waited till he finished. Or maybe he finished in the nick of time doing what God said, but he started it by faith. By faith, Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should after receive for an inheritance, obeyed and went out not knowing whither he went. For by faith he sojourned in the land of promise, as in a strange country, dwelling in the tabernacles of Isaac and Jacob, and the heirs with him for the same promise. For he looked for the city